Hey everyone. So I just got home. I've been at the doctor's like all day. So I got there. I had to get on. I got a lift to the BART station because I was about to park over there. And then I got my first appointment was at 8. I had to meet with the nurse. Then I had to meet with the anesthesiologist. And then I had to have blood drawn, get a chest X-ray. Then I had to meet with the surgeon. Then I had to get an echocardiogram. Then I had to meet with my cardiologist. So that was like 6 appointments all in one day. So I wanted to make a video because I do get the question a lot when I tell people that I'm having heart surgery. I always get the question, what's wrong with your heart, right? So I'm going to tell you. When I was 1 day old, in particular, valve, because I even have to refresh my stuff because it'd be like, but your pulmonary valve and your okay, we're back. So sorry. But so your valves, they pump blood to your body, right? So when I was a day old, 22 hours old, I had my first open heart surgery at Oakland Children's Hospital. That lasted up until I was 29. Well, no. Let me rewind. In 2003, I had a hole in my heart. So I had this device called a implantage, something like that, scepter, something like that. I had that put in, and what that did is close the hole in your heart, and it like your blood, your arteries, everything goes around it, all that good stuff, your tissue forms. So the hole was closed in 2003. And then in 2011, I had open heart surgery again. That time they repaired my tricuspid valve. You don't really know all these valves, so you have heart issues. But so that was supposed to last for 15 years. Here we are 6 years later, and I'm having to have it again. So what happened was people don't know, I was talking about getting married. That's whatever. But so I was, if that was the case, because I'm not having no more kids unless I get married. So I considered maybe having one more kid when that time had came when I was married. So I have a yearly checkup every year anyway. But I told my doctor, hey, I might get married. I'm thinking about having another kid. I just want to make sure everything's fine. So my doctor said, well, we need to do an MRI before you think about that. I'm like, all right. So then October last year, I did an MRI. And then my doctor started calling me from her cell phone like a couple weeks later. So I was like, okay, that don't sound right. And she told me that, my valve was leaking more than it should. And, your valves are hit or miss it. It's a hit or miss when they repair valves. And I was like, what are you talking about? So then I had to go to another appointment and do all this other stuff that I had to do, and so after that, I found out that my pulmonary valve, which I got replaced when I was 22 hours old, I have to replace that again. So basically my heart surgery, which will be my 4th surgery, but my 3rd open heart surgery, and like the surgeon said when I met with him today, because I already have like scar tissue from my other surgeries, it's going to take a little more time for me to heal and it's going to be it's more of a risk, this surgery, because this will be my 4th one. But like I said, my 3rd open heart. So this will be the 3rd time that they've opened me up. It's called a sternomascopy or something like that. Don't quote me. But anyway, so they have to do that. So they have to replace my pulmonary valve and my tricuspid valve. So in case y'all don't know, if your heart valve leaks, it causes your heart to work harder. If your heart has to work harder, then your heart starts to enlarge, which starts to give you problems like you have shortness of breath, you feel fatigued. So like right now, the same way I was with my last surgery, as that time came, I started to get more like shortness of breath. Y'all probably don't notice it if you see me out and about, because I don't really like show it all the time. But I do have, sometimes I have shortness of breath, not a lot, but like if I walk up a flight of stairs, I'm winded. Like if I walk fast, I'm winded, so, and with that being said, I had one person that was like, you look like you fine. I don't think people understand, like, unless you see my scar on my chest, maybe you don't know I've had surgery, but I might look fine, but that don't mean you could see my actual heart through my body, right? So nobody has an illness or a heart condition that you can see. So I don't know, some people are naive when they say you look fine. Whatever, that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, so again, my heart valve surgery is to replace my pulmonary valve and my tricuspid valve. If they can't, well, repair the tricuspid valve. If they can't repair it, they have to replace 2 valves. So this will be my biggest surgery, actually. And I didn't think it was more of a risk, but the surgeon today told me that this surgery is actually more risky than all the other ones that I've had. And hopefully, if everything goes right with this one, I won't have to have it for another 10 years. 10 years, right? I know, but I'm a trooper. I'm a fighter. I hate, I think the one thing I hate about this is most of y'all know me, follow me, whatever. I am always moving. I'm ambitious. I keep it moving. I'm always working on something, or, just try my best to be the best person I can be, and things like that. But to have to sit down and take a break, which I trust God, so it's okay. But, to have to sit down and take a break when you're a single mom with a 4-year-old, God bless, I have a great support system. So shout out to my support system. I really appreciate them. But it is a struggle to, for somebody like me to have someone else taking care of my child. Cause I'm going to be in the hospital for like 8 days. And at that time, somebody else is going to have to be taking care of her, clearly. But somebody's really going to have to be taking care of her for probably like 3 weeks to a month. She can be at home a little bit, but I can't lift more than 5 pounds for 2 months. I can't even lift like a plate out of the cabinet. Is too much when you lift your arm up. They do not want you to do that because your sternum is still open. I can't drive for 6 weeks, maybe even longer, she said, because of how my sternum's going to be. So my sternum is going to be open. So like if I'm riding in a car with somebody, I got to be in the back seat with a pillow over my chest, and then the seatbelt over the pillow, which is still a risk because, and it was crazy, the surgeon told me today, it takes 2 hours to open up your sternum. I'm like, well, I missed that at the last surgery, but I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But anyway, so it's just a lot of recovery time. It's more recovery time this surgery because of, like the scar tissue that I've had from previous surgeries. And, even so, the crazy thing was I was at my first appointment, one of the 6 today, and there was this really nice, the nurse that helped me first, she was really nice, and she was telling me that, she's seeing a lot of younger people. She said she's used to seeing older people with heart conditions. She's like, but somebody, last week was like 19, and then she seen me, but she started to tell me, like, her testimony, like, it was crazy. She was an Asian lady. She said she had found out she had breast cancer at age 32. And she said that, she had to go through chemo and everything. You would never, again, as I was saying earlier, sickness and illness doesn't have a look to it. There's no look to it. People can look fine, but they can be sick. Like, so again, my perception, I could be guilty of it, because looking at her, I would have never thought that she had survived breast cancer. She said it was moving pretty, progressively, and then she went on to say that she ended up having a kid, and I was like, what? She had a kid? So she said that after, before she went to chemo, she had preserved some of her eggs, and so she was able to have one child, and now that was when she was 32, but now she's 39, so it was cool to be at the doctor's and get a testimony from someone so young, so again, sickness doesn't have a look. Heart conditions don't have a look. Just because people see me out and about, always moving, always doing something, always got something going on, always trying to be a better person, doesn't mean that I don't have any effects from my condition. I just don't put them on the front street. You never, what you would probably, anybody know me, anybody watching, ain't none of y'all can ever say you see me running down the street, because I don't be running nowhere. I'll be winded, like going up 2 flights of stairs. I'm like, and as I get closer to the surgery, as I was saying, it's like, I'm like, I ain't running nowhere. I really ain't been going to the gym as much because it's just a lot. My doctor told me definitely keep walking. So I have been walking and trying to get in shape, because they say the better the shape you are in, the easier it is for your recovery. So that is definitely true. So I've been trying my best to meal prep. But side note, can y'all believe? I cannot believe, and I think the scale is a lie at the cardiologist today because it said that I weighed way more than I ever weighed in my life. And I've been meal prepping for 3 or 4 days a week for like the past 2 weeks. I don't appreciate the scale doing that. It must have been the shoes. That's a whole nother thing. See, I just went off on that tangent. But anyways, I was just like, no, I must have to go back to the gym, but it's kind of hard to go. I guess I did get really discouraged. I was working out consistently. I went on vacations and I got discouraged, but then I also got discouraged and decided to work on my diet instead of going to the gym, because I'm like, I can go to the gym for like next 3 weeks, but then like I can't work out for 3 months. I mean, I can only do cardio. So it kind of just was like I guess to say it was discouraging for me. It is discouraging for me. So I'll just be taking walks in the morning. But anyways, I wanted to make this video so y'all could see, I have this whole book of everything I have to do, what to do when I get home. I'll be in the ICU for this many days, and all that good stuff. I think this time around, I'm probably not going to have people visit me for like the first 2 days, because last time I was in the hospital, I barely remembered half the people that came to see me because I would doze off because I was like medicated, So I do appreciate everyone's prayers. I hope y'all ain't getting tired of my posts, because this is my testimony, and I really am going to document it a little bit more and more as it gets closer, because I do feel like there are people who may take their health for granted. And if you don't have to go through the things that I may go through or someone else may go through, then maybe you should take do not take your health for granted. And maybe you should get more serious with your health. Maybe it's working out, maybe it's eating right, but you might take things for granted that I don't take for granted. Every day is a blessing for me. You might not have to take 3 months off of work like I might have to. So those little things you should be able to count as a blessing, and just know that you just count, like I said, just count it as a blessing. You're not having to go through something, like my uncle says. He says, better than some and worse than others. And that is true in every sense of being true, period. Like, that's really what it is. Like, so again, I really appreciate the prayers. I just wanted to come and tell you guys what exactly I'm having surgery for and what are the causes for that. And, again, actually, with all this being said, if you haven't had a physical, you should go to the doctors and get a physical. You should get a physical. You should get an x-ray. You should get an EKG. You should do whatever you can to make sure your heart is okay. Because let me tell you, my uncle, may he rest in peace, my favorite uncle, passed away in the last 2 years. And he never had issues. He was actually running marathons, and he dropped in the middle of a practice run and had a heart attack and died. And when he had an autopsy, they basically said that he had some kind of heart condition, and had he not been running and getting in shape, he might have had issues sooner. So with that being said, you got to make sure, like, I know our life is busy and whatever the case may be, but you need to make sure that you're getting a physical. Like I said, you're getting checked up. If you a woman, you're getting a mammogram. You're like doing whatever you can to make sure that you are healthy, because you could be having heart issues and you don't even know it. You could be, if you walking up a flight of stairs and you super tired, it might not be because because you out of shape. It might be because you got some issues going on. Because for me, a flight of stairs is like exhausting. A hill is exhausting. Walking too fast is exhausting. Laying a certain way is exhausting. So those are the kinds of things that I struggle through. But I say that again to tell you if you haven't had a physical, you should go get a physical. Ain't no way you should be 20, 30, 40 and ain't had no physical. And you just thinking like, oh, I haven't had any health issues, so can't be nothing wrong with me. You still got to be smarter and educate yourself, because there are people that have heart conditions and they don't even really know. So anyways, again, I know I rambled on, but that's what I wanted to do. I appreciate the prayers. I'll be having surgery on September 14th, and I go in at like 5:15 in the morning. And then I probably don't, last time I had surgery, I went in at 5:30 and I didn't wake up until like 8 o'clock that night. So they said that when you're younger, they try to keep you out a little bit longer, to heal a little bit more. And for me, I don't know what to expect, especially after I met with the surgeon today. I was like, I didn't know that it was, a higher risk surgery since I had the other surgeries. For me, in my mind, I thought it would be easier, but in reality, since I have scar tissue, that's what happens. And I definitely didn't know that it takes 2 hours to open me up. I was blown away by that. I really just was like, wait a minute, I don't even, what? So again, I don't know what to expect, but I do know that God is good. I'm blessed, to even make it through this will be my 4th heart surgery. I feel really blessed, and I appreciate all the prayers, and I hope that y'all continue to pray for me. Don't just pray for me, pray for my daughter, because, she's going to be with family, which she's in good hands, but pray that she's able to understand what I'm going to be going through, because I have sat her down actually and told her that Mommy's going to be going to the hospital. Mommy's going to have to stay there for a little while, and, Daddy or Nana or Grandma or somebody's going to bring you to come see me. So she understands all that, but she's 4, so there's some things that she might not understand. So again, pray for me, but pray for her also. And just, definitely check on me during my recovery. I'm going to, again, do some videos as I'm going into the operating room and as I'm recovering. And I really want to do that so you guys can appreciate your life and appreciate your good health. So again, make sure you go get a physical, stay on top of your health, try your best to eat right, try your best to stay in your right mindset, and also try to keep your peace. Because that's one thing I've noticed in the last 2 weeks is that I got to keep my peace. I don't have no time for nobody's drama. Like, I got to get my mind together for the surgery. Like, I got to be in the right mental set. I got to be doing well. I can't be tripping off nobody's issues. Even if I got issues with people or family or whatever, I can't be worried about them. That's stuff got to wait. I almost said that word. Anyways, because I really how I feel. But that stuff got to wait, though. Like, I don't have time to be sitting up here, like, worried about things that are not important. You know what I mean? Like, you got to keep your peace, man. And the thing I say that to say too, when you keep your peace, it really has to do with your tongue and the things you speak. If you speaking nonsense and ain't nothing that's going to help you, then in reality, you messing up your peace. So your mouth is your peace. And I say that because I got a mouth on me. Those of you that know me from a while back, I got a mouth on me. That ain't really never changed. My mouth ain't like it used to be. It's more positive now, but still, I got a mouth on me. I always have had one. Anyways, thanks to everybody that's coming. I see y'all. But, anyways, like I said, get a physical, protect your peace. Thank you for the prayers. Y'all have a good day.